Hey, I thought I would do a GoFundMe update. Really, where I'm at, more of terms of growth. Um, I've been coming into really in touch with bioenergetics in my body and how dissociated I've been pretty much, my whole life actually until recently. Uh, yeah, I can feel that. Uh, yeah, so by chance, I found a used copy of a book called Betrayal of the Body. It came out in the '60s, late '60s, I believe, and it's by the man, the doctor, the psychologist who created bioenergetics, Alexander Lowen. And reading this book, I've never read a book that reads like philosophy and poetry a little bit. That's a psychology book. It's been just very eye opening for me. And in it, he goes over like basically the schizoid and schizophrenic personality types and how the body armors to that. And it's really interesting because I know I've been the deep end of isolation a lot of my life, but reading this book, it's pretty obvious. I mean, like almost everything of just hits me deeply. Is that definitely have the characteristics of the schizoid personality. Uh, yeah, I'm having a little bit of vulnerability right now talking about this for some reason. Usually it doesn't bother me, but I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what's going on. So I've been in this book. He really talks about how pleasure is a part of the natural animal organism's desire. Right, you move towards pleasure, and for severely dissociated people, that pleasure is actually uh, feared, which is definitely me. Uh, just sensations of the body, pleasure, sexual energy, orgasms, uh, all these things are related to the body and the mind being separated, the ego and the body being split, and it comes from stuff in your childhood. So reading this thing, it's like I don't think I've ever read a psychology book that's caused so much emotion in me, um, and it's just there. It's hard for me to express it still. Um, but it was really interesting reading about what I've intuitively been figuring out through all this tantra and bioenergetic work and that I'm doing in the teacher training and that I've done leading up to it, which is that for someone who is dissociated from their body, and most of us are, it's just to what degree, pleasure, actually feeling pleasure and removing the resistance to it, is one of the most healing things you can do. It helps connect you to the parts of yourself that you had to hide from or hide inside of you from a very early age. In the book, even he says when you're in uterine, and I believe that. So yeah, so it's just really validating to know that with Tantra and Neo Tantra and bioenergetics and meditation, uh, that pleasure isn't just some hedonistic desire. It's actually been very healing in a profound way for me, like nothing, no other kind of stuff I've done. Um, yeah. And then when I think about, as someone who wants to help people with their own stuff as a teacher, you think about sexual energy or sexuality. It's pretty much been repressed in every culture uh, since the ego began, since consciousness, or when we left just being purely animals. That's pretty intense to think about. That's locked inside all of us, all that sexual repression, and it is different but the same for all of us. And it just, I know for me, opening up to the parts of myself that are very restricted in my subconscious, which is shows up in your body. Yeah, it's a little amazing, but it's also pretty scary. Changing. To be letting go of something that's that powerful, even if it's just a little bit at a time. Something that is in all of us for so long, and then we just keep passing along um, to others, to our children, to anyone we're in relationship with, to the next generation, and the generation after that. So, yeah, like I said, I'm having some hard time with the vulnerability today. I just have a completely different relationship with my body, with sexuality, with pleasure, and it's interesting for me. It's new, and yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also, you know, kind of, I think, in the middle. Still a little new for me, so I'm trying not to freak out. But I just keep opening up to it, opening up to it, and it's interesting. It's like I'm still having a hard time being out around people, um, and really being in relationship or interacting with them. I've gotten better, but definitely there's moments where it's hard. But something we do in Tantra is eye gazing, right? Which isn't easy for a lot of us. And I mean, I never even looked anybody in the eyes until about 3 years ago when I took this transformational workshop. And then with the Tantra work, it's just, we do it a lot. And I'm realizing why. Because now I meet somebody in the street and I make eye contact. And it doesn't always happen, but man, all of a sudden I just flood with sensation and like an excitement feeling, and it puts you in your body. It's scary. You haven't been in your body your whole life, or So yeah, I just feel really. I feel good. I feel better than I've ever felt my entire life. But being out around people is definitely. I don't know how to say it. There's definitely fear. I'll just be honest. There's fear. Um, but I do like people. I do enjoy connecting with them. Uh, so yeah, that's it. That's my really long GoFundMe update about where I'm at. As far as money, or raising money. Um, yeah, I'm still at it. Still, part of me avoiding it, part of me, going into it, willing it. I know I really want to be there, and that there's nothing has helped me in this way like my teacher Don Cartwright and the people there with me, and just the whole practice of Tantra and Neo Tantra. Um, I could see how this would easily help the world, especially as we're going into a digital age of really being in our heads and not in our bodies at all. So that's where I'm at. If you'd like to donate or share this, I would greatly appreciate it. Or if hey, I'm at the point now where I can start doing I can start doing one-on-one or couples thing, work. If you would like to know what that's like, message me, call me. I'd love to talk to you about it. All right, until next time.